I'm John Batchelor, johnbatchelshow.com, with Simon Constable, my colleague, and we are reporting on a question that's come up at the end of a year. Is there already a world government? Simon, good evening to you.
Good evening.
World government. We mean by world government one organization that runs every country, correct?
Yeah, well, we haven't yet. That's what you mean, yes.
Right.
And that's what is generally meant. We're getting there. We're getting there. I don't think we're there yet, but we are getting there. And if we look at through the institutions that we have right now, and look at what the problems we have in the world, and we're seeing that governments and organizations that we have are working in a coordinated effort. So the credit crisis we have.
The credit crisis looks like world government because we have your Gordon Brown in the UK
With the Bank of
and
England.
George Bush
Yep.
in the United States and the Bank of China, the Bank of Japan, other leaders all doing the same thing at the same time.
All working very much hand in glove.
That looks like a world government.
Well, it is certainly looking on the financial side. It certainly looks like that. We have the IMF there as well, trying to think of
which now owns Iceland.
Which now owns Iceland and may own more countries before we're gone. And we have the World Bank there, which has been around for a while.
It's finally got a mission to push money into the hands of people who don't have any, which would be Pakistan and other places, right?
Yes, hopefully not. Hopefully they don't.
And they even call it the World Bank. That's suggestive.
It is suggestive. One of the things that I find very interesting about this whole thing is that really there's no choice but these institutions work together. They have to, because we have a problem that is too big for any individual.
That is what they tell us, Simon. Now, this evening, this is our debrief. We reported with John Tamney and Jim McTague that we've got a 5-year plan globally that isn't going to help us, but does help them. In other words, the world government now has check-writing power. Our vote doesn't matter because, after all, we're not sovereign anymore. Now, is that a motive for them to claim that we've got problems too big?
Well, it's very hard to get inside the head of politics. Well, I find it very hard to get inside the head of politicians, and we're talking about politicians here. Is it possible that that's what's happening? Certainly, there's a lot of people out there that believe that.
Let me try some other possibilities of what's going on. We're said to need global solutions for global warming, right? That's suspicious, right? Because there are only glaciers here and poles there, but we all have to worry about our carbon footprint. We also need a world solution for diseases such as AIDS or malaria. The world has to address this. We also have global solutions for something as fantastic as outer space law, the law of the sea, moon bases, not law, outer space law. Where's the sovereignty in that?
Well, there isn't, and a lot of these laws have been around for a long while. I mean, but basically, the law of the sea was established by the United Kingdom when it ruled the waves.
But it's now being imposed by this.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, what is it? That's a good question. And are we there yet with this one government? Well, I think there are still some breaks in it. I mean, if you look at, you mentioned the global warming thing, something that the U.S. has steadfastly refused to get involved in, and the Kyoto protocols. No thanks.
But the Obama administration seems disposed towards global carbon footprint solutions.
Maybe that's the one step forward that takes us further towards one world government. And
now, Simon, there is a general problem that comes up because it's so hard to find out whether we have a world government. How do you know if someone's an agent or a cooperating fellow traveler of the world government?
Well, it would be nice if they were wearing suddenly suspicious clothing, and dark glasses and a lot of muted tones and were invisible. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as easy as that. It's not going to be who you think it is, ever, because if they were, then they wouldn't be part of it. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep my ears to the ground.
John Batchelor with Simon Constable, and we're worried, and so are you. This is the johnbatchelshow.com. Good night.